Shabhavataram Shadashiromani Kebala Ananda Kanda Shadashiromani Kebala Ananda Kanda Bhaja Bhaja Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Shudrida Vishasha Kori Bhaja Bhaja Bhai Vishaya Chariya Sheroshe Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Vishaya Chariya Sheroshe Majiya Vishaya Chariya Sheroshe Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Sheroshe Majiya Mukhe Bolo Dekho ore bhai Tribhuvane nai Emona doyala data Tribhuvane nai Emona Dekho ore bhai Tribhuvane nai Emona doyala data Tribhuvane nai Emona doyala data Poshu Paki Jure Poshana Bedare Shuni Jara Gunagata Poshana Bedare Shuni Jara Shangshara Majide Rohire Pori Shepare Nahilo Asha Shamana Kahelo Jana Dasa Munjay Shamana Kahelo Jana Dasa Padama Koduna Pohudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Jana Vallabha Jai Girivardhari Jai Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Jashodanandana Jai Brajajanaranjana Jai Braj Jana Ranjana Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav Shriman Mahaprabhu Ashtashaki Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtadharasara Shrimanshila Abhay Charanada Vinabhakti Vedanta Shami Shri Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON Puratishthata Acharya Shri Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON Acharya Vrinda Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Shri Sinitai Gauda Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Vande aham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vidang Tang Shajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chedanadevam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shibishakang Vidangscha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dharma projita kaitava atra parama nirmat saranam satam vedam vaishnavamatravastu shivadam tapatrayun mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite King of Aipada Ishra Sadda Ridi Avarujyate Atra Kriti Vi Shushushibitakshanat. Briti Shankara Jatinam Tat Tat Kula Krita Bhavet Achoranam Apapanam Antyajante Vashayinam Briti Shankara Jatinam Tat Tat Kula Krita Bhavet Achoranam Apapanam Antyajante Vashayinam. Matri Mandali. Briti, occupational duty. Shankara Jatinam, of the mixed classes of men, those other than the four divisions. Tat Tat, according to their respective. Kula Krita, family tradition. Bhavet, should be. Achodanam, not thieves by profession. Apapanam, not sinful. Antyaja, lower classes. Anteva Shayinam, known as Anteva Shayi. or Chandal. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Among the mixed classes known as Shankara, those who are not thieves are known as Antaveshayi or Chandal, dog eaters, and they also have their hereditary customs. Purport. The four principal divisions of society, namely Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra, have been defined. And now there is description of the Anchaja, the mixed classes. Among the mixed classes, there are two divisions, Pratilomaja and Anulomaja. If a woman of a higher caste marries a man of a lower caste, their union is called Pratilo. If a woman of a low caste, however, marries a man of a higher caste, their union is called Anulo. Members of such dynasties have their traditional duties as barbers, washermen, and so on. Among the Anjajas, those who are still somewhat pure in that they do not steal and are not addicted to meat eating, drinking, illicit sex and gambling are called Antevashayi. Among people of lower classes, intermarriage and drinking of wine are allowed, for these people do not recognize such conduct as sinful amongst themselves. Srila Prabhupada ki, Mukam Kariti Vachalam, Pangam Langayate Girim, Jat Kripa, Tamaham Bande, Sri Guru Dinatarinam. Narad Muni is speaking. So, we're hearing an analysis of the Varnashram system, and details are given of those who are even below the Sudra category. And this is for the purpose of understanding social interaction, understanding social principles, and organizing society. Information is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Kalo nasta dresham esha puranak adun uditaha. Because in the Kali Yuga we do not even know how to organize society, marriages, etc. So all of this information is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, the Acharyas, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, these are here considerations giving, it's judging actually. It's analyzing and categorizing society into different classes, evaluating for social management. Bhagavatam is giving direction. Now Kaviraj Goswami, he particularly glorifies the quality of the Panchatattva and their distribution of love of God, that there was no consideration of the person's social condition. Here we are hearing description of and considering this in terms of organizing and managing a society. But when it comes to the distribution of love of Godhead from the Panchatattva, there was no consideration. Patra patra bicha nahi nahi shtana shtan jai jaha pai taha kore prem dan. Kaviraj Goswami is explaining. Patra apatra. This is the receptibility. Patra is the pot. So the appropriate pot has to be appropriate receptacle of placing the item. It's called patra. And apatra means an unclean pot. You cannot use, you cannot put the item in there. That's patra apatra, bichar. as called judging the qualification of the pot, the qualification of the recipient. Patra apatra bicha nahe. Nahe stan ashtan. The suitability of the place or the unsuitability of the place. The suitability or the qualification of the candidate or the disqualification, the Panchatattva did not consider. Jai jaha pai, taha kore premdan. Jai jaha taha means wherever, therever. Jai jaha, whoever they met. Jai jaha pai, whoever they came into contact with, whoever. Jai jaha pai, taha, in that place, at that place. Kore prem dan. They gave the wealth of love of Godhead. And this is the particular feature of the Panchatattva that is so much glorified by the Acharyas. When Mahaprabhu, he was in Puri after taking sannyas, and he was desiring to go to Vrindavan. In fact, even after taking Harinam Diksha, Mahaprabhu, he left for Vrindavan from Bihar. And there was a voice in the sky, Akashvani, you cannot go to Vrindavan now. You have to go back to Mayapur. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mahaprabhu, being so much overwhelmed with prema, he forgot he was God. And he was mad after Vrindavan, going to Vrindavan. This is the mood of Mahaprabhu. So he wanted to go to Vrindavan. And even after sannyas again, he was wondering. And he was asking the cowherd boys, where is the Jamuna? And by the arrangement of the devotees, he was brought back to Navadip, Shantipur. And on the request of Sachimata, Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri. Sachimata said, Lord Krishna is there in Puri. So you go and you take shelter of Sri Krishna, Kamal Charan in Puri. Because if you go to Vrindavan, how can I carry on? How can I exist? How can I continue to live? It's so far away. Ek bari dui gor. Sachimata says, Ek bari dui gor. Orissa and Bengal. Oriya and Goria. One house, 2 rooms. Oriya, Goria. One house, 2 rooms. So if you go to Puri, then I will regularly get news of you. And we see that annually the devotees headed by Sivananda Sen, Advaita Acharya, they journeyed from Navadip, Mayapur to Jagannath Puri, and they associated with Mahaprabhu. All of the devotees. There's a description there in 15th chapter, Madhya Lila. 200 devotees arrived from Bengal. And King Prataparudra is asking Gopinath Acharya, who is this person? Who is this effulgent person that Mahaprabhu is sending the prasadam and the garlands? Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, all of the devotees. So in this way, there was regular interaction. But still Mahaprabhu was always wanting to go to Vrindavan. And eventually, on the Vijay Dasami, he left. And described that he wanted to again associate with Sachimata and with Ganga. So for that reason, he went north. However, you would assume to go to Vrindavan from Puri, you would go northeast. And subsequently, Mahaprabhu did go northeast. He went through Jharkhand. But this time he went north because he was eager again to associate with Ganga Devi, Sachimata, Sisi Radha, Rasabihariji ki, Lalita Vishaka ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shishinita Gaur ki. So this description is described about how Mahaprabhu indiscriminately is distributing love of God on his journey north. Actually, he was going to Ramkeli Gram in order to liberate Rupa and Sanatan. And it's described that thousands of people were following him. Thousands of people. And there was no qualification who could join the Sankirtan party. There was no consideration. They were collecting the dust. They were collecting wherever Mahaprabhu placed his lotus foot on the road. The pilgrims, the devotees, the residents would collect the dust. All the roads were destroyed. Nothing but holes left. And it's described that as he approached Ramkeli Gram, even though there was no announcement, Surja Uday, our Vrindavan Das Thakur is explaining, he's like, Surja Udaya, you cannot cover it. Who can cover the rising sun? So hundreds of thousands of people were gathering, and were all engaging in observing Mahaprabhu, in dancing, in crying, in paying obeisances. Even the Javon Mlechas were also, is describing, Namaskar, were so overwhelmed. So the constable of the police, he gave a report. He went to the Nawab. This is Malda. Ramkelli was the capital of Bengal, Gouda. And the Nawab had his palace there, and Mahaprabhu was doing the kirtan just near the palace of the Nawab. And the constable, he gave a report that one sannyasi has come from Bengal, and he's being followed by hundreds of thousands of people. You cannot count. They were a bit concerned that it was like a political agitation. So many people. And the Nawab said, tell me about this person. What does he eat? What are his activities? What does he appear like? So here was the constable, the Muslim constable of the police, and he began to glorify Mahaprabhu's activities and his form. He's describing that his face is like millions of moons, and his eyes are like lotus petals, and his effulgence is more brilliant than gold, and his neck is like a lion, and his chest is like an elephant, and his body is like soft butter. And the most astonishing thing is that within an hour he jumps and he crashes to the ground more than 100 times. Completely overwhelmed. He doesn't know whether it's day or night. He's not interested in anything. Only with his two arms raised he's chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, and the holy name of the Lord. So hearing this, as we sang the song, that Poshu Paki Jude Pashana Bidare Shuni Jada Gunagata. Poshu Paki Jude, that the birds and the beasts become overwhelmed with prema. Pashana Bidare, the stone melts. Shuni Jada Guna Gata. When you hear descriptions of their qualities and activities. So the Nawab, hearing the constable, these people completely unqualified. This same Nawab was the person who convicted Thakur Haridas to be beaten in the marketplace. Nawab Hussain Shah. And is described, Vrindavan Das Thakur describes, he destroyed thousands of temples in Orissa. But hearing about Suni Jada Guna, hearing about the qualities and the activities of Mahaprabhu, his heart changed. He said, wherever this sannyasi goes, he has full freedom. He can preach whatever he likes, he can do whatever he likes. No minister of the government, nor any officer can prevent him in any way. If he tries to do so, he'll be met by death. And he retired to his inner quarters. However, the pious residents, they were a little concerned that at any moment the Nawab's mind could be changed. So they sent a messenger to Mahaprabhu to warn him. The message was, no need to do Sankirtan so close to the palace of the king. But the messenger, he couldn't even give the message to Mahaprabhu. He was too much absorbed in Kirtan. He couldn't, there was no interval. There was no break, no rest. So he sent the message through the devotees about what the pious residents of Ramkelli had advised. And eventually Mahaprabhu, he heard that there was some anxiety. And then Mahaprabhu said he stood with raised arms, and he spoke some very important words, which are often quoted by our acharyas. Would you like to hear what he said? Yes? He said, I have appeared here, Kali Juge, Juga Dharma, Namera Prochar, Toti Lage Pita Barna Chaitanya Avatar. I have appeared in this Kali Yuga, Pita Barna, in the golden yellow form, Namera Prochar, in order to preach. This is the incomparable, because He becomes a devotee and he preaches. And he accepts sannyas. Sannyasa krikshamaha. Suvarna, varna hemango, varangas chandan angadi sannyasa krikshamaha shanta nishta shanti prana. In Mahabharata is explained about Mahaprabhu's incarnation. He accepts the order of renunciation and practices austerity. No other incarnation does this. He accepts sannyas in order to propagate the holy name, in order to teach by example, in order to exemplary demonstrate the divine life of Krishna Bhakti. So he accepts a renounced order of life for that purpose. Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi, he stood there with his hands up and he says, I will distribute love of Godhead to everybody without discrimination. Radha Krishna bol bolore shabai e shikhani shab nadi fiche neche gornitai. Radha Krishna bol bolore shabai. Shabai. Whoever they see, whoever they come across, without any consideration. I have come to distribute. And he says, I will distribute it to the Javons, to the Malechas, to the Chandal, to the Stree, to everybody. And he raised his arms and he said, which is often quoted by our acharyas, Priti bide ache jota nagadadi gram savatra procha hoibe mornam. He says, nothing can stop the spreading of the Sankirtan movement. It will spread. Prithibidiyache Jotanagara as many towns and villages there are on this world, all over the world. Savatra, Procha, Hoibe, Mornam. My name will be preached in every place. In commenting on this verse, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that if Mahaprabhu has said that in every town and village all over the planet, that means that the people from the different jati, here we're describing all about the jati, right? The Sarva Jatinam, Sankara Jatinam, and Nakula, all the different jatis being described here by Narad and how to deal with them. Prabhupada's commenting that if it's in every town and village, then that means that the local people of those towns and villages will become Vaishnava Brahmins. Otherwise, how is it possible that in every town and village, if the local people do not convert, become converted? And this is the power of Krishna Bhakti. That even your low birth is not a handicap in accepting and practicing Krishna Bhakti, as Devahuti Maharani explains to Kapil Dev. Yan nama dhyaya shravan anukirtanat yat pravanat yat smaranat api kvachit svadopi sadda savanaya kalpate kuta punaste bhagavan tu darshanat. She's saying that simply by hearing Yan nama dhyaya shravan, even by hearing your name, Yan nama dhyaya shrab anukirtanat, hearing and chanting, Yat pravanat, yat smaranat, even remembering you. Svado pi sadda savanaya kalpate. Svado means the dog eater. Prabhupada in the purport mentions those who are even below the chandal, the dog eater, svado. Sadda savanaya kalpate. Just by hearing the holy name, just by chanting the holy name, just by remembering your holy name, they become purified. They immediately become purified enough to be able to perform the Vedic sacrifice. Kuta punaste bhagavandu darshanat. What is big of seeing you? And in Padma Purana, which Prabhupada quotes in the second verse of the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is explaining idam pavitram uttam, that the Krishna Bhakti is pavitram uttam. It is the purest. Purest. Pavitram uttam. The purest. So Prabhupada in the purport, he quotes from Padma Purana. Aparabda palam papam kutam bijam palunmukam kramanaiva praliyate Vishnu Bhakti ratatmanam. That by the performance of Vishnu Bhakti ratatmanam with sincerity, with enthusiasm, Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam, Kramanaiva Praliyate, one after another, all of the reactions to sin, such as Parabda, aparabda kutam bijam palam mukam. That means the desires to sin, the specific sinful desire, the tendency to sin, sinful inclination, and even a body which is a product of a sinful past. That's called parabdha karma, which is being described here. And due to one's sinful past, one takes birth in a low status. What is that one? Ye pishu papayonaya, papayonaya. Ye pishu papayonaya, shriyavasha tata sudra. That because of the previous impiety, one takes a birth in the degraded situation, as this karmic reaction, and one has to suffer the handicaps and the other restrictions that are present, that are not and facilities which are not given to those who are born in a higher status. One suffers. This is and there's nothing you can do about it for your whole life. There was one famous musician, one of the most famous singers in the recent history of modern Mleccha culture. He was a black man. He had special doctors to try to bleach his skin. I won't mention his name, but you probably know. Change the shape of his face, bleach his skin. He was so much trying to rid himself of the birth, but it's not possible. You cannot do it. But you can do it by Krishna Bhakti. Aparabdha palampapa. Because it's so powerful. Idam, it is pavitram uttam, the purest. That even the impure birth status can become purified by the practice of Vishnu Bhakti. So later, when after Mahaprabhu, at that time he met Rupa and Sanatana after making that statement in every town and village. Then he didn't take much notice of the message of that Brahmin messenger. But later in the evening, Rupa and Sanatana actually came in and met Mahaprabhu. First time that they met. And they eventually Sanatana Goswami again repeated. He repeated that this is not very advisable to go to Vrindavan with such a entourage of hundreds of thousands of people. This is no way to journey to Vrindavan. He mentioned Sanatana Goswami. And then the next morning, Mahaprabhu, he carried on from Ramkelli to Kanai Natashala, which is further northeast. He's continued to Vrindavan. But when he reached Kanai Natashala, then he began to reflect on the words of Sanatana, and he returned to Jagannath Puri, and he didn't continue. Actually, we understand that this was just, and traveling in that direction, there were ulterior purposes. He wasn't really planning on going to Vrindavan. He wanted again to go to Mayapur. At that time, he delivered many offenders in Kulia on his way through Navadip, Devananda Pandit and others. And he delivered so many residents of Bengal as he wandered on the road performing the Harinam. And he delivered Rupa and Sanatana. That was his real purpose. So after returning to Puri, Mahaprabhu was sharing with Gadadhar Pandit how impressed he was with the nature, with the qualities of Rupa and Sanatana. He said these two brothers are so extremely qualified in terms of material qualification, intelligence and training and experience. However, they introduced themselves to me in the most humble way. When Rupa Goswami, Danta Trina, with grass in their teeth, they fell on the ground, and Rupa Goswami said, Nicha jati, nicha shange, potita adham, kubisha ekupe, goinanu janam. That we've wasted our lives, goinanu janam. Nicha jati, our birth is low. Nicha shange, our association is even more degraded. Potita adham, we have fallen, we have degraded, we have become the most sinful. Kubisha ekupe, and we are living a life simply of wanton sense gratification. We are millions and millions of more times more degraded than Jagai and Madai. Rupa Goswami said. And because they never became the sevok, the servants of the mlecha, meat eaters. But we have become like them, associating with them and serving them. So this is very interesting. The mood and the quality of a devotee, even though he understands that he is in a transcendental position, that he's been liberated from his degraded life, his degraded background, his degraded birth, he never considers himself exalted. The humility of the Rupa and Sanatana was genuine. It's not that they were just saying, like we do, oh, I'm the most fallen. But actually we don't think that. They actually considered themselves like that. And Mahaprabhu, he couldn't tolerate. He said, stop, I cannot tolerate. He said, your humility is controlling me so much that Krishna will certainly be attracted to you and will deliver you because of your humility. Shankya purvaka nama gana nadivi kalavashani krito nidra aha viharikaji vijito cha atyanto dino. Excessively humble, atanta dino, immeasurably humble was there, even though aha nidra boy, aha nidra moitun bihari vijito, they were the great conquerors of eating, sleeping, enjoyment. They conquered these things. They completely lost interest. But they actually considered themselves extremely low. After that brief, and Mahaprabhu was sharing with Gadadhar Pandit how it touched his heart when he returned to Puri. And after that brief encounter in Ramkelly, where Mahaprabhu, he delivered Rupa and Sanatana, and he instructed them many important words about how to carry on and how to internally cultivate your devotion and without making a show. He gave the example, Mahaprabhu, that just like a woman who is attached to another man apart from her husband, she's always thinking of when she can meet with that man. And she's very, very attentive to her household duties so that no one will suspect her. Mahaprabhu said, behave like this. It didn't seem that they carried on in that way very long, because after a short time Rupa Goswami just left the service of the Nawab. He had enough and gave his wealth in the boats. And he just left with his brother Anupan. And then Sanatana Goswami, instead of going to the office, he sent a message that tell the Nawab I am sick, I'm taking sick leave. And then the Nawab is, what is this? These guys, I know they're cheating me. He marched to the house of Sanatana with an entourage of army soldiers, burst in, and there was Sanatana, just like here we are sitting, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. There was Sanatana Goswami hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So they couldn't restrain their heart's desire to completely dedicate themselves to the service of Mahaprabhu. And as we know, after being jailed, Sanatana Goswami also, due to his expert intelligence, he was able to get himself free from the jail, and he joined Rupa and Rupa Goswami in Vrindavan. So Rupa Goswami, he left from Kelly and he went to Vrindavan. Because hearing that Mahaprabhu, he heard that Mahaprabhu had left Puri and go to Vrindavan. So Rupa with Anupam, his brother, Sri Ballabh, who later Mahaprabhu gave the name Anupan, they were journeying to Vrindavan to take shelter of Mahaprabhu, and they were in Allahabad. Mahaprabhu had already gone to Vrindavan. The next time he went through Jharkhand, and he went directly to Vrindavan with just one assistant. And he'd been in Vrindavan, he was coming back along Ganga. He was in Allahabad, and in Allahabad, Rupa and Anupam met Mahaprabhu. At that time also some very interesting interaction occurred. Again, Rupa Goswami with great humility, they saw the Lord. The Lord was going to Prayag, to the temple of Bindu Madhav. And again, thousands, hundreds and thousands of people were attracted to Mahaprabhu. They were dancing, they were crying, they were paying obeisances, they were rolling on the ground as Mahaprabhu was performing the Sankirtan. And from a distance, Rupa Goswami, he saw Mahaprabhu. And falling on the ground, he prayed another iconic prayer of our movement. Namo Maha Varanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaude Dvishayi Namaha. Paying obeisances to Mahaprabhu, again with straw in his teeth. And Mahaprabhu called him. He said, you two brothers, he called him. Mahaprabhu gave them shelter. He said, Krishna has delivered you. You are the recipient of immeasurable good fortune that Krishna has delivered you from your materialistic fallen condition. So at that time, one high-class Vaishnava Brahmin from South India named Vallabha Acharya was in Prayag. He was staying over the river, a place called Adailo, and he heard that Mahaprabhu had arrived in Prayag. It's described that even though Prayag is Tribeni, confluence of Saraswati, Jamuna and Ganga, it never flooded. But when Mahaprabhu was there performing Sankirtan, it over-flooded with the prema. And so Vallabhacharya, he came from Idilagram across Ganga Jamuna, and as he was approaching Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami and Anupam, they saw him. And Rupa Goswami, he loudly, he said, do not come near me. I am degraded and I am outcast, untouchable from the Vedic Brahminical society, even from the Varnashram system. Do not come near me. And Mahaprabhu, he tested Vallabhacharya. He said, be careful. He said to Vallabhacharya, be careful. You are a high-class Brahmin of aristocracy and high birth. Do not go near those. Do not let them come near you, otherwise you'll become contaminated. At that time, Prabhupada comments actually that later he became the founder of the Sampradaya, Vallabhacharya, the Vallabh Sampradaya, and Prabhupada comments it's very popular in Vrindavan and in, Prabhupada says, Bombay. Bombay. Vallabha Sampradaya in Bombay. Prabhupada says Bombay. And he mentions, however, that the current Acharya of the Vallabha Sampradaya, whose name at that time, which was 40 years ago, was Dikshit Maharaj. He said he's very favorable to our movement, and he is a high-class Brahmin and completely conversant in all the smarta and regulations of the Brahminical class, and he very much appreciates our movement spreading Krishna consciousness in the Western countries. At that time in ISKCON Juhu would have only been foreign devotees. Only foreign devotees. Dikshit Maharaj, the Acharya of the Vallabha Sampradaya, Prabhupada says, is very much favorable towards our society and our movement. So Vallabhacharya, he recognized Mahaprabhu was testing him. And he explained that how can they be considered fallen if from their lips constantly we hear the utterance of the holy name? What is the question of them being considered degraded? And then he quoted the other verse that Devahuti Maharani speaks. Aho bata swapacho to gariyang ya jivagrevatate nama tubhyam te pustapaste juhuvu shashnu arya brahmanachu namagrinanti yete. That simply by namagrinanti, simply by accepting your name, and jiv agre, it doesn't even require extensive chanting. Jiv agre means just a little bit of chanting, just a beginning, jiv agre, on the tip of the tongue. They're just beginning to chant, or they're just chanting a little. Such a person, tepus, tapas, te, juhuvu, shashnu, aya, brahmanachu, they have considered to have completed just by a little chanting. That is more purifying than tepus, tapas, te, juhuvu, traveling to all the places of pilgrimage, taking your sacred bath, performing all of the austerities and bratas, brahmanachu, studying all the Vedas, just by accepting your name. Aho, bata, swapacho, togari, how glorious they are the dog eaters. Aho, bata, swa, the dog eaters who are chanting your holy name. They are more qualified, they are more exalted than the Vedic scholars. And Mahaprabhu, he became a little excited hearing this comment from Vallabhacharya, quoting the Bhagavatam. And Mahaprabhu quoted from Hari Bhakti Sudodaya that Name Bhakta Chaturvedi Mad Bhakta Swapacha Priyaha. Compared to the Chaturvedi, who studied the 4 Vedas, who is not my devotee, Name Bhakta Chaturvedi Mad Bhakta Swapacha Priyaha. The devotee who is from the family of dog eaters, he is more dear to me than the Chaturvedi non-devotee. Tasmai deyam tato grayam. Whatever he offers, you should accept, and you should offer everything to him. Sa cha puja jatahi aham. He is as worshipable as I am. So in this way, in the interaction between Balabhacharya and Rupa and Anupam and Sriman Mahaprabhu in Prayag at that time, again we see the exalted principle of Krishna Bhakti, the potency of Krishna Bhakti, that it can elevate anyone from the degraded birth. And even more so, Mahaprabhu's preaching exemplifies that. He specifically anointed Rupa and Sanatana with the title of the Goswami, even though they were expelled from the Hindu society. And he anointed Thakur Haridas with the title Acharya, Namacharya, even though he was born in a Muslim family. These pillars of Mahaprabhu's mission, indicating the principle of Krishna Bhakti, which is no concern for one's degraded birth. So we'll read the verse again. Among the mixed classes, the Shankara, there are those who are not thieves, are known as Antaveshai or Chandal, and they also have hereditary customs. Any questions on today's discussion? Yes.
All the teachings that we hear are very glorious. All the teachings that we hear are very glorious. They are very glorious. But when we practically see the past,
Bell has rung.
no,
That's a little slow, that clock.
that such and such nice things were there in the society, and when we see it, it is practically unattainable now.
We see what?
With the, we cannot attain those levels.
We cannot what?
Attain. Get such glorious things which existed in the past. So it is just like either empty lamentation or futile expectation that such and such glorious things will happen again in this society, particularly in Kali Yuga.
Fine. The principles that we were enunciating today, we see. We see that from any birth, degraded position, a person can take to Krishna Bhakti and become empowered. Well, we see that all over our movement, all over the world, devotees. In the Western countries and here in India, everyone is welcome, everyone is accepted, and everyone can be empowered and is purified by the Sankirtan movement. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Kantar Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gauda Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.